Hi there. Thank you for showing up. Let's get started in a minute. Come. Hi. You can come here. Hi. Welcome. Thank you for showing up to Restorative Yoga. I'm Kellie, and here's Maxwell. Maxwell, come here. Do you have your chicken? Thank you for showing me that. Yep, I know. So, today's class. From opening the body to stabilizing a pose, there are many ways to use props. Today we're going to use the wall for half of the class. So the first part of class, part 1, we'll be using the wall. And then we'll have part 2 of the class, we'll be on the mat using blanket and a pillow and a block. So let's get started right away. I have music I'm listening to. Please put on some comforting music, some relaxing music, should I say. I feel like we should have a plant or something right here. I'm going to put a plant right there. Feng Shui. Okay, so let's just start standing. First thing we're going to do, get my list. So 5 moves using the wall. We will use the blanket for one of the poses, or a few of the poses. So the first pose against the wall, standing. So it's called hand big toe hold, and usually we use a bolster, a strap, or you hold your big toe and extend the leg. So what I'm going to have you do is standing at the wall. Sorry, my back is to you. Let's start with the right leg. So place your hands on your hips, and if you need something like a chair to hold your balance, grab a chair right now. So you're going to bring your foot up to the wall, and maybe you need to step in a little bit. I need you to be far enough that your hips are squared, and you'll just reach one foot and straighten your standing leg, straighten the right leg. If that's too much, just slightly bend the knee, and then start to straighten the leg as much as you can, standing here. And you want to square your hips to the wall and square your shoulders to the wall. So just hands at your hips right here, holding this position, this pose, hand big toe hold, like we do regularly, or in a vinyasa flow class sometimes, using a strap or holding your big toe with your yogi fingers. So this stretches the hamstring, the lower back, the QL muscle right here on the side. So taking this to a little more of a challenging pose, revolving it, you'll reach your right arm back. If your right leg is forward, right arm back and left arm forward. So maybe your fingertips touch the wall as you reach the opposite hand back. Draw the right hip down. Don't turn the toes out. Keep your foot straight up. Breathe. And again, you can use your hand on a chair or hold your balance. Relax the shoulders. Relax your jaw. You can bring the tongue up to the roof of the mouth and breathe, or relax the tongue. But bring your focus to your breath. Inhaling and then exhaling. Now bring your arm down. reach forward, and then carefully bend your knee and set your foot down. All right? Changing sides. So as I said, I'll state this again if you're just showing up. 5 poses using the wall. A couple are standing. Then we'll go and put legs up the wall. Or a couple kneeling and then legs up the wall. Then we're going to lie down on the mat the second half of class. So the last 30 minutes of class will be on the mat, lying down over the bolster. All right? So other side. So left leg, standing, hands at your hips. Use something for balance if you need to. Bring your foot part of the way up. See how that feels. And then maybe you can extend the leg straight. Knee bent slightly to start with, but then start to straighten the leg as much as you can. Don't lock the knee out, the standing leg or the leg that's on the wall. Shoulders back, abs in. Hands at your hips. Draw down the left hip. Keep the toes pointing straight up. And breathe. So my ankle is right underneath my hip. This hip, ankle right out in front of that hip. Stay here or create a little more of a challenge and get a little bit, or take this into a twisting position. You'll reach the left arm back and the right arm forward, and maybe your fingertips touch the wall, and then look side. Just look side. No need to look back and strain the neck. So standing leg, feeling the hamstring, the hip, along the lower back. So often this pose is done in a regular yoga class, vinyasa or other, and the support is either a strap or your yogi fingers. Take one more deep breath in, and then reach forward, bend your knee, and set your foot down. Good. All right, so now let's do Warrior 2. So you're going to need 2 blocks right here, or a chair. You can place your hands on a chair in front of you. So blocks on the floor, like that. And step away enough that you can get so hands flat on the blocks, leg back, and decide if you need to move forward just a bit. You want to have those blocks right underneath your shoulders, so your wrists are under your shoulders. So legs straight out, press into, maybe walk the blocks forward more. So you want to pull your front ribs in, your toes pointing down on the foot on the wall, and straight standing leg, as straight as you can get that, and breathe. We're just going to stay here for 5 breaths. Pulling your front ribs. So the prop being the wall. Having your foot anchored in this Warrior 3 position. Probably the most comfortable Warrior 3 pose you've ever done. If you've ever been in a regular vinyasa class. So your body's straight, back flat. You can keep making adjustments, minor adjustments as you hold. Try to soften into this pose. Relaxing your shoulders, feeling that standing leg, feeling the leg that's back behind you, or the leg back, pressing the foot into the wall. Breathe in, breathe out. One more deep breath in. Then exhale. Now bend your left knee and start to bring the right leg in. And let's stand up before we go to the other side. So flat back and reach up. Arms go up. Clasp your fingers, palms straight up. Bring the hands in front, opening up the shoulders. Sweep back. And then hands to your side. Let's do the other side. So hinge forward at the hips. So flat back. Standing right leg, bring the left foot behind you. Find the wall. Making any adjustments you need to. Maybe you walk the blocks further forward, but just you want to have your shoulders over your wrists. Bring your fingers over the edge of the block. Straighten the left leg, straighten the right leg. So having the anchor as the wall allows you to really square the body up and align, position the joints with each other. Start to bend your right knee, bring the left leg off. Your feet side by side. Bring your blocks lower if you can, and fold over. And this time, relax your shoulders. Bring your hands behind, if that's okay, and clasp your fingers. Reach the knuckles away from you. Pinkies lifting up. Move the shoulders away from the ears. Bring the hands down, unclasp your hands, hands to your shins, grab your blocks, and then come to a kneeling position on your mat. Place your blanket near the wall. We'll put those aside for a moment for the time. Come onto your knees. So you're up against the wall. Move your knees away just a bit. So you've got space between you and the wall. Then put your hand on the wall, reach up, crawling the fingers up, and just stop right there at 90 degrees. Point your elbow towards the wall. Shoulder back are relaxed. The tops of my feet are on the floor. And I'm kind of pulling in my front ribs, but have a neutral spine. Walk your hands up higher. And then start to walk the hand back behind you, stretching the shoulder. And just hold that right there. Getting that external rotation at the shoulder, deepening the stretch in the shoulder, the front of the shoulder, and then also your pectoral muscles, which really can tighten up and draw the shoulders forward. So strengthening the posture muscles, stretching the front muscles. Posture muscles being the upper back, around your blades, your shoulder blades, your wings. Just gazing forward. Now walk the hand down. And then roll your shoulders up and back. And then turn, facing away from the wall. We'll go to the other side in a moment. Tuck your toes and bring your heel up against the wall, and then your left knee forward, or the right, whichever. So stretching the quadricep, the hip flexors. So you've probably seen people put their shin up against the wall and the back of the foot on the wall. We're not going to take that depth of a stretch in this class, in this restorative class. So I just want you to stay right here, taking a knee. Hand on the leg for balance. So then, similar to when we had the foot on the wall, I'm going to have you turn the shoulders, but keep your hips squared. So that foot on the wall, anchoring, keeping you symmetrical or squared. You can put your hand on the outside of the leg, just slightly. Breathe in. Put your hand back here on the wall for balance if you need to. Notice where the hip is, the left hip, whether it's high or low. I want you to try to square those hips with each other. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathing out. Now start to look forward. Hand at your thigh. Untwist, undo, and then bring your knees to the mat. And then turn the other way. So here, move it a bit away from the wall. If you need to move your blanket so your knees are resting, do that. So bring your hand to the wall right there. So I've got my left hand on the wall, and you're just going to bring your arm 90 degrees right there. Draw your shoulders back. So 90 degrees at the elbow joint. Hand at your hip. Neutral spine. Front ribs in. Chin neutral. Pull the head back. But don't tuck the chin. Then start to walk the hand up higher. Reaching as high as you can. If you feel anything going on, just make note of it. And maybe back off, lowering your arm just a bit. But if you can, if you've got that range of motion, reaching all the way up, awesome. Palm facing or pressing into the wall. Feel the side stretch, those ribs, stretching. Now you're going to walk your hand behind. So the arm is straight back. And you want to you don't want to hyperextend at the elbow joint. It's hard to describe how, if you've got hypermobility, it's hard to describe to the position of the elbow. It's not bent, but the arm is straight and not locked. I have a bit of hypermobility in my elbows, and I have to pay attention to that to keep my elbows safe and healthy. Poses like downward facing dog or anything where I'm on my hands, I have to pay attention to where my elbows are. Because when they're hyperextended, I can't really feel that it's hyperextended or locked, right? So just have your arms straight, engaging the muscles. And if you do have hypermobility, you can even slightly bend. That's better than locking your elbow out. Now walk the hand down. Fingertips pointing towards the floor. And then let's turn facing forward. Get your heels to the baseboard. So I've got my toes tucked under. We're going to change the leg. If you need to hold something for balance, do that. Otherwise, bring the opposite leg forward from the first side, right? So we turned that way. So my left leg was forward. Now my right leg is forward. And my knees are 90 degrees, right? So knee joint 90 degrees, knee joint 90 degrees. And you can walk this foot over so that you've got space. So the wider your base is, the better your balance is. And then just sit up tall. So you're feeling, hopefully, you've got your toes tucked under and your heel on the wall. So your anchor is your foot back there. Then reach your left hand for the right leg and turn your shoulder. So just look to the side. You can put your hand on the hip, but then lower that hip. Maybe you put your hand on the wall for balance. Deeply breathe in. Exhale that out. One more breath in and out. And now look forward, untwist, bring both knees to the mat, and we're going to sit. Place your blanket where your head will go, where your head will land. We can adjust that later. Move your blocks. We're putting legs up the wall. So that's the final stretch up against the wall, and then we'll go to the mat using your bolster and blanket. Okay, so to get your legs up the wall, have your hips just slightly away from the wall first, and then put your elbows down so you're leaning back like you're on the beach, right? Looking out over the shore. And then lie down all the way. Legs go up, and then you'll just kind of pivot your body. So your glutes, your hips are towards the baseboard. Bring that blanket underneath your head. And if your head is really high up, you can even stack this up like a pillow. So legs are up. If you've got the hamstring flexibility to get your glutes all the way to the baseboard, so fill the baseboard, then do that. If you're shaking or if it's uncomfortable, I want you to back away from the wall. So that's all just flexibility in your hamstrings. So I'm at a 90-degree angle easily. No shaking, very comfortable here. So you want to be comfortable. So probably the best way to stretch hamstrings and actually create some suppleness in the hamstrings is to not overstretch them when you're holding. And gradually you'll create the suppleness and the range of motion you need in your hips. So reach your fingers around the back of your right thigh and pull that leg in straight. So there's your hamstrings right there. Maybe slide up behind the knee, maybe behind the calf. So right there. So your hips leveling with the weight of your legs coming down into the hip sockets. Balancing out or leveling the SI joint, which is the hips which are on either side of your sacrum. That can get off balance. Point your toes towards your face and set your heel back on the wall. Now let's just change sides. So reach around, grab that leg behind the hamstring. You can clasp your fingers if that's comfortable. And then maybe you reach behind the knee and then maybe the calf. If you want to have that stretch increase in the hamstring. No shaking though, just mildly stretching the hamstring. And then release the heel to the wall, right there. Let's stay here for a good minute. So anytime you're having lower back pain, not anytime, but for just general back pain, if you put the legs up the wall, it's the way that you can relieve stiffness and back pain, achiness maybe, call it that. Take your hands and press into your thighs, right there. So pushing those hips towards the wall or the thighs towards the wall. Giving yourself that self-adjust. And then release. Now bring your feet together like this, butterfly. Press your hands on the inside of your knees. just lightly. And then place the hands underneath the thighs as props, holding the legs up. And close your eyes right here. Let's stay here for a minute. Relax your shoulders. Bring your focus, your awareness to your jaw. Relax the jaw. Pick the shoulders up and set them down evenly. Relax the shoulders. Relax, softening the belly. Lower back. Then begin to open your eyes. Bring the hands on either side of your knees and pull your knees in together. And then pull the legs in towards you. So get in that tight ball position. Give your lower back that stretch. Just hold right here. You can have the bottom of your feet just slightly touching the wall. Then kind of push yourself away from the wall a bit. So you gotta walk it back on your back. All right, and then you're gonna just roll over to one side and push up to a seated position right here. Come up to your blanket. Grab your pillow. Place the pillow underneath your knees. So one seated stretch, and then we'll go and lie down on the mat. So kind of like when we were on the wall, knees are out, feet together. I want the edges of your feet on the floor over the blanket. And then reach your hands down and stretch your body over the blanket. You can hold your toes or just have your hands resting on the floor, whichever feels the most relaxing. Awareness to your back, the lumbar spine, up to the middle of the back, to the shoulders, to the neck. So to take this to a more relaxing place the block between your knees or between your calves, and put your forehead on your block so you can relax the neck. Fully restoring in this folding position. Back is rounded, just slightly over the legs or over the bolster. Start to lift up your head, move the block, lift up your chest, and move the bolster, pillow, this direction. You're going to bring one hip up to the side. Your legs are straight out. You can place the blanket underneath your legs like that, right? And to kind of sit up tall. Now you're going to lift up, bring one leg back to this, out to the behind you, and then the other leg, and kind of sit on that hip. Then fold, bring that between your legs. Then your torso. So hands on either side of the bolster or pillow. And then you're going to walk your hands along. Make adjustments to your hip as you need to. Put your forearms down on the mat, your hands on the mat. And turn your gaze the direction of your knees. So kind of melting into the blanket, the bolster, the support. So the blanket between the knees, the bolster underneath your body. Feeling supported. Relaxing into your breathing. Relax your ankles, your toes, your feet. They feel awkward, move them around so that you get comfortable. No distractions, right? From the rest, from the restore. Take another deep breath in. And then push into the floor. Lift your body up off of the support. And move your legs. Now we're going to flip this over to the other side. So I'm going to just turn. Place the blanket there. Legs over. Straight out first to start with. And then have the bolster up to your hip, right? Move this to the other side. Then bring your legs out. So the blanket's right here underneath your legs, right? And then you can kind of flip this up. So it's between your legs, right? And then you're getting the support of the blanket underneath the ankle. So the hard surface supporting it. All right, so now hands on either side of the bolster, walk it down. You can put your chin down first and get your forearms down, palms on the floor. Turn your head the direction of your knees. Move your hips around as you need to. Soften the jaw, the brow, the shoulders, your hips and back. So just think about all the things we do in a day. And then usually we just go and lay in the bed and rest in one position. So restorative yoga is super important and needed to help restore your body, keeping your body healthy and feeling good with all the activities we have.
So you can almost think of it as preventative medicine, or you can think of it as preventative medicine. So let's start to come up. Breathe in deeply. And as you exhale, walk your hands in and lift up and place the bolster like this. And bring your blanket where your head will go. Bring your legs again over the bolster. Lower down onto your back. Move the blanket underneath your head and blades if you'd like to, but preferably just under your head. Lift your hips up and settle your lower back down evenly. Have your feet over, bolster underneath the thighs and the knees, but I want your feet to be on the floor. Don't have your feet just hanging in space. Have the comfort of a foundation, a connection. And you can place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart. Now, if you want to, you can make this a hip opener by bringing your feet together and knees out and ankles on the bolster. Close your eyes. Unclench your teeth or have space between your teeth. Your tongue relaxing off the roof of the mouth. Relaxing your jaw, your chest, your shoulders. All of these points of tension. Relax the hips. Soften the belly. Relax your feet, ankles, your hands. Your next 5 breaths of air. Breathe in a deeper breath of air. And then exhale that out about the same length of air. So inhale. And exhale. Inhale through your nose. Hold your breath at the top. And then fully exhale. Out of the nose, or you can open your mouth and let that go. Inhale through your nose. And then fully exhale. Breathe in. And then breathe out. And then open your eyes. Bring your knees into your chest. Grab the knees, pull the knees in, and rock from side to side. Place your foot on your blanket or on your pillow. And so I've got my left foot on my pillow and then my right ankle on the knee. Press the knee out away from you. Supine pigeon pose, restorative, supported with the anchor of the pillow and the foot
and then your opposite ankle on the knee, and then hand at the other knee. So stretching along the hip, the outside of the leg, gently. Rotate your right foot, or the foot that's on the ankle, or the ankle that's on the knee. Rotate that foot around both directions. And then set your foot on the pillow and place your opposite ankle on knee. You can flex your foot first, press the knee away. Lower back relaxing by having your foot on the surface of the elevated surface. And then let your foot go, and you can make some rotations right there at the ankle joint. You can go the opposite direction. Place both feet on the elevated surface, the pillow, and tip your knees right and left, and bring your arms out to the sides. Keep your feet on the bolster. Tip over one way and then the other. Good. Now push the bolster out, away from you. Extend your legs out straight and reach your arms overhead. Big stretch. From your fingertips to your toes. Sweep the hands to your sides again and turn your palms up. Place your feet on the floor. One more time, let's get a twisting stretch. Bring the legs over. Place your right ankle on your left knee, and then tip the knees over to the right and look over to the left, but pull your lower back towards the floor. Relax the back of your hands on the mat. Then inhale and lift. Place your right foot on the floor or changing sides. Ankle on knee. Tip the knees over to the left. Pull your back towards the mat and look over the opposite direction of your knees. You can close your eyes right here. Then lift your head, looking up, lift the legs, put your feet on the floor, extend the right heel towards the right corner, left heel towards the left corner, pause. Place props underneath your body, like your knees, or you can place blocks underneath your knees, or like this, right? And then have your feet out. Make sure that's comfortable. You can put a pillow underneath. And then lie down. You may have to move things around a bit as you get comfortable. Heels to the corners, remember, so you have space between your legs. And then bring your arms out at about the same angle away from your body. Turn your palms up, or if that feels better, you can turn your palms down. Your choice. Just be for a moment. Present in your body. Thoughts will come, but then let them go. Try not to attach. Just be for a moment. Let your mind decompress, de-stress. Bring your awareness to the top of your head, the crown of the head. As you breathe in a big breath of air, then exhale that out. Tracing down the body, bring your awareness to the brow, the mind's eye. As you breathe in and breathe out, bring your awareness to your nose, the jaw, and focusing down to the neck, the collarbones, the shoulders. The right arm, relaxing the top of the arm to the elbow, to the forearm, to the back of your hand. All 5 fingers and their natural curve. Crossing over to the left arm, relaxing the shoulder first down to the top of the arm, elbow, forearm, tracing down the thumb, and then to the fingers. Visualizing that natural curve of the fingers. Focusing to the chest, relax the shoulder blades, feel the shoulder blades flat on the mat, your wings. Softening at the belly, and then your lower back and hips. Release any tension or stress. Relaxing down the right leg, the thigh, hamstring in the back, your knee, to the lower part of the leg, the calf, to your ankle, the bottom of your foot, the top of your foot. And all 5 toes. Focusing over at the left leg, the top of the hip, your flexors right there in the front. The glute relaxes, the hamstring, the quad. or thigh muscle, through the knee, calf, ankle, top of the foot, the insole of the foot, all 5 toes. On your next breath, breathe in smoothly, fully, and then exhale, let that go. Inhale through your nose, a deeper breath. Fully exhale. Inhale through your nose. And then fully exhale again. Start to move your fingers. Slide your feet onto the mat. Move anything that's in the way over. And then pick your hips up and level them and start to sway the knees side to side. And then roll over to one side and push from the floor, lifting the body, the head, the shoulders up. Close your eyes. Find your position seated well with your eyes closed. Proprioception, where your body is in space. Bring your hands together. Edge of the hands to the mind's eye. In thanks and in gratitude, bring the edge of the hands to the heart. Bowing your chin, and thanks again. Take care, be well. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you. Bye.